So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. Who remembers the Nigerian movie World Apart? It was basically the movie that introduced the beautiful actress Iniedo to the big screens of Nollywood. It was the story of Ulima, who was born and bred in the village. She was taken to the city by her uncle, where she met and fell in love with a prince. They encountered plenty of challenges with family acceptance, clash of cultures, and all of that. But eventually, love won. Their love surmounted all the challenges, and they lived happily ever after. But hey, wake up. Life is not a movie. Life is not Nollywood. And relationships such as this will not always surmount all the many challenges that comes with them. In today's video, we will be discussing the story of footballer OLARENWAJU Ayobami KAYODE, his estranged wife Dora Okoro, and celebrity pastor TOBI. So if you're new here, you're seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up now. Take the second to give the video a thumbs up. Drop all your comments down below as we proceed, and stay glued because we have so much more coming your way. Kayode and Ezinne are two people whom we can say started out worlds apart. Ezinne Dora was born and bred in the commercial hub of Aba in Abia State. She attended Golf Course Nursery School and Santa Maria Primary School, a school that she described as the very best in her town. She got her secondary education from the Federal Government College in Umuahia and then proceeded to a private university, Madonna University, where she studied law. That fateful day in 2012, when Ezinne got that message from Kayode in her Facebook inbox, she probably felt that it was one of these guys on the internet that wouldn't let any fine girl they see rest. She ignored the message. Yes, she did not respond until weeks after the message came, and even when she did, she claimed that she didn't know that it was Kayode, that it was the Kayode. You see, 3 years before Kayode messaged Dora Ezinne, okay, I'm going to use that name interchangeably. Dora Ezinne, same person. So 3 years before Kayode the footballer sent that message to Ezinne, he had represented Nigeria in the under-17 national team at the 2009 FIFA World Cup. But Ezinne revealed that she did not put a stamp to his face, so she didn't know that he was the one trying to get her attention. But eventually, he got it. He did get that attention. So Kayode introduced himself and things progressed from there. Rapidly, I must add. They began dating. And at that time, Ezinne was shuttling between Aba, her family house, and Festac in Lagos, the place where her family friends resided. And somewhere in between, she and Kayode would find time to meet up. Shortly after the relationship between Kayode and Ezinne began, she got pregnant. And since they hadn't really formalized their union, she chose to keep the pregnancy away from prying eyes and wagging tongues. She moved to Ibadan to live with Kayode's mother. They had their court wedding there in Ibadan in July of 2013. Ezinne and Kayode had their first son, Jason, in January 2014, and in December of the very next year, 2015, they welcomed their second son, Jaden. Their third son, Jamin, came 2 years after, in 2017. After the birth of their 3 sons in 2018, Kayode and Ezinne did their church wedding with their 3 handsome momkins playing the role of little groomsmen. Now, before the 3 sons and the wedding and everything that had happened, a lot more had also taken place. According to Ezinne, when she met Kayode, despite he had played in the national team, the under-17 national team, and had represented Nigeria at the FIFA World Cup, she claimed that Kayode wasn't up there. He didn't have much. He was still struggling, trying to find his feet as a footballer, and didn't have all the many opportunities that will eventually come. She claimed that Kayode was being exploited by football agents. Agents who took advantage of his desperation and his limited education to get him to sign contracts that were not in his favor. She explained that she came into his life and brought structure, brought clarity, and set a foundation for him. According to her, Kayode was only a secondary school leaving certificate holder who could not understand the many terms and clauses usually embedded in these contracts, and that these agents were never really interested in the welfare and the advancement of the players. All they cared about was their own selfish and personal interests. She, on the other hand, as she explained, coming from a family where they loved football, she already had a background knowledge of the field. Coupled with her legal foundation, she stepped in to take charge and protect her husband's interests to ensure a bottle-tight arrangement that would propel his career to greater heights. On this note, Ezinne Dora became a football agent and manager, with her husband being her sole and only client. Well, she said that was how her husband wanted it, that her husband wanted her to just be focused only on him, so she did not have any other clients. She went professional. Oh yes, she wasn't joking. She made efforts and got her FIFA license to become a registered football agent. And then she was following her husband everywhere, being his backbone and his structure, his best support system, his biggest cheerleader, as she explained. Ezinne is the first female Nigerian licensed FIFA agent, and in 2021, she won the award for the most outstanding football agent of the year. While accepting her award, she said, "As a lawyer, I decided to study the rule of football and combine it with fundamental human rights to ensure that my clients get the better part of any contract. I helped free Kayode from the bondage of slave contracts, which remain the bane of most African players. Unfortunately, the footballers, most of them, are not really enlightened. And I am sorry to say this, they need people who can tell them the truth, educate them on their rights, and I'm always ready to do this." Kayode, on the other hand, was growing in leaps and bounds too. After he played in the under-17 Nigerian team at the FIFA World Cup in 2009, he signed with ASEC Mimosas in Abidjan, Ivory Coast in 2010. By 2012, he left ASEC to join Swiss club FC Lucerne on loan, and by October the next year, in 2013, Kayode signed a one-year contract with Israeli club Maccabi Netanya. After a very successful season, netting 13 goals and 6 assists, he got a break into Europe, signing a 4-year deal with a club in Austria. It was while playing in Europe, in Austria, that Kayode got the big break that every footballer craves and prays for. He got noticed by English club Manchester City, and Manchester City signed him on a 4-year deal. Ladies and gentlemen, that was when the football money became coming in drones. It was as though the heavens opened and they were drowning in financial enrichment. They began investing, acquiring properties, purchasing houses. They were finally able to live that dream life. But there was a but. But trouble was lurking. Ezinne disclosed that once Kayode got his big break in football, oh my God, he began to feel like a top star, a super celebrity. His behavior changed, especially around women. She said that her husband began misbehaving, chasing everything in skirts, sending monies to different women without control. In fact, she said that he carried him enter house, that there was this girl, her mentee, that was staying with them, that every night Kayode would sneak into the girl's room and start begging her for puff puff. And so the fights started, the patching here and there, one problem after the other, one unresolved marital crisis after another. And by the year 2020, 2021 thereabouts, it became clear that their marriage may never survive this storm. Sadly, and according to Dora's prediction, it didn't. Earlier this year, word got out on social media that the marriage between Kayode and Dora was terribly strained. Kayode, through his legal team, accused his wife Ezinne of a barrage of allegations. First, he accused her of leaving the house in the guise of going to church and absconding with his 3 children, and then fleeing to Abuja without his knowledge or consent, and that it took the intervention of the DSS for her to be traced and arrested. 2. He accused her of conspiring with other people to misappropriate his assets. In fact, there were several allegations of forgery of personal and official documents, theft of his 2 Mercedes SUVs and other properties. There were so many allegations of fraud and financial misappropriation leveled against Ezinne. Thirdly, and most viral, I must add, Kayode accused his wife Ezinne of infidelity, adultery with a UK-based pastor, Pastor TOBI. When news of this marriage strain got out, coupled with the allegation of infidelity, trust-hungry, desperate, unethical social media users, people who would do literally anything and everything to drive traffic to their social media pages without caring whether children are involved, without considering whose life or lives are ruined in the process. They will do anything for clout. These set of people began pushing the agenda that DNA has revealed that none of the 3 sons belonged to Kayode. And the person that started this rumor on Twitter, one Ruti XX, that publication alone had over 3 million views. And of course, trust the Nigerian media space. DNA is a very juicy, attractive topic. Oh boy, it sells like bread and spreads like wildfire. Whether true or false, it doesn't matter. Just bring the woman up to the chopping board for dissection. That post alone got over 5.5 million views. Not even 2 or 3 million. Over 5.5 million views, with major social media handles and blogs spreading the rumor. Kayode himself, grossly upset and offended by that rumor, got his legal team to write that Twitter user who began spreading that wickedness, saying that he has never doubted the paternity of his sons, neither did any DNA results reveal anything. The letter read, "Our attention has been drawn to a Twitter post which you caused to be published via your Twitter handle, RutiXX, at about 11 a.m. on the 25th of May, 2024, titled, DNA Test Reveals Kayode OLARENWAJU is not the biological father of his 3 children with his wife. Our client has informed us that what you posted on social media as regarding the paternity of his 3 children are outright falsehood, and it is calculated to ridicule him in the eyes of well-meaning members of the public. Our client is at loss because he has not conducted any DNA tests. Neither has any DNA test said that the 3 children of the marriage with Mrs. Dora Kayode are not his. It is for this reason that we believe that you are being sponsored by Mrs. Dora KAYODE to publish these negative stories about our clients. Divorce is a very nasty and messy thing. You know, when a divorce happens, you see spouses doing and saying anything to pull each other down. How can a woman sponsor a narrative that she is a prostitute and that she gave her husband 3 children that didn't belong to him? In fact, if there's anybody that can sponsor such a thing, the last person will be that woman who is now the subject of ridicule and insults. So many people do not go further to investigate or read deeper. That story has spread now for life that her children are B words. And these children will grow up with that element of doubt and jeer being thrown at them. That, oh, your father is not even your real father. It's such a nasty thing. And so many people have already started insulting this woman, calling her a prostitute, DNA scam. Nobody even bothered to read that it is all a lie. It was just a wicked formulation on Twitter. Everybody just ran with it. The man himself, who is in the eye of the divorce, is coming out to debunk that the children are his. Let us be careful how we spread falsehood on social media, damaging the life of other people, especially when children are involved. Well, in response to KAYODE's many allegations, Dora granted a full interview to address them. She said that when she met her husband, he didn't have anything, and that she sold her personal belongings. She sold her land, her iPad, her iPhone, everything to support her husband and push him up there. Please note that I am quoting the words of her interview. KAYODE has not done any interview, so I cannot preempt him. When he does an interview, if he does one, we will discuss his own part of the story. What I have for him is what I got from the legal documents which I perused. It is only Dora who has granted an interview, and these are the details of what she said. 2. She described him as a drunk who would come home late at night, vomiting and making a mess. Thirdly, she explained that she was never really accepted by his family, that she was seen as that Omoibo. If you're not Nigerian, I do not know how to start this explanation for you. The Yoruba and the Igbo tribes are 2 of the 3 major tribes in Nigeria. And after the Civil War, I can trace it to after the Civil War, there has been plenty of bad blood between these 2 tribes. So Dora is here claiming that KAYODE's family didn't accept her. They always saw her as an outsider, a stranger. And even despite all she did for members of his family when they were together, when they had clashes, even till today that she speaks, not a single one of them, not one soul, has called her to say, sis, what happened? What is the problem? That they hated her guts, despite she tried to be nice. She also debunked any form of sexual relationship or emotional entanglement with the pastor, saying that on the contrary, it was KAYODE who was a reckless womanizer. She even went ahead to mention names of his side chicks. She mentioned one Charlotte and also mentioned another Debbie, who she claimed KAYODE helped rebuild and stock up her shop after a fire incident. And at this point, she said that she is no longer interested in the marriage. She has served in the divorce papers, returned the bride price, and even reverted back to her maiden name. And that, my dear brothers and sisters, brings the almost end. Well, the marriage has not been dissolved by the courts, but with the return of the bride price, it has been dissolved traditionally. And that brings the end of this marriage between Dora Ezinne and KAYODE OLARENWAJU. And the question on everybody's lips is, how did it get so bad that it couldn't be resolved, that it couldn't be rectified, at least in the interest of these 3 little beautiful children that have come out from the marriage? What actually is the problem? Several things are suspected. First on the list is the issue of being worlds apart. These 2 people had different educational backgrounds, different family types and structure, different exposure, different orientation, different tribes and language, different education, understanding, intelligence, everything. People believe that they were not on the same page on many respects. And despite we might say opposite attracts, when it comes to marriage, there has to be some binding similarities, some compatibilities that would keep the bond together. If not, one person will constantly be talking A while the other one is talking Z. 2. Parental influence. Dora suggested and mentioned that at a point her mother was living with them. And for some people, that is a no-no, especially in this kind of intertribal marriages where there are already so many sentiments, so many perceptions. They believe that it was a very wrong idea for Dora's mother to come in to live with her and Kayode. And on this point, I would like to ask you, what do you think? Do you believe that it is wrong for a mother-in-law to come and reside with couples? Some people believe that, okay, the first 1 year, the first 2 years, the couple should be alone, but subsequently in the marriage, when they have gotten to know each other, they're fine. There's nothing wrong with a mother-in-law coming to live with them. What do you think? Are you for this? Are you anti this? What are your experiences? Do you think it depends on the mother-in-law? If she's a friendly and adaptable type, then it's okay? Or do you think that it should not be at all? Drop your thoughts down in the comment section. And lastly, a lot of people believe that money played a great significant role in the crash of this marriage. They believe that you do not know a person until that person touches real dirty stinking money. Then the true behavior, the true character of that person begins to shine forth. They suspect that when Kayode saw a lot of money, he began to exhibit some traits, some characters that Ezinne was not used to. And Ezinne, on the other hand, seeing the man that she started from the scratch with, was expecting the same level of loyalty and dedication and fidelity. But Kayode was not given that. These are all the reasons being suspected caused the crash of this beautiful union. What are your thoughts? Having laid this background, in our next video, we will go further. We will delve deep into the cocoa, the alleged infidelity with the pastor. We will analyze thoroughly and critically the possible involvement of Pastor TOBI and his alleged contribution in the crash of that marriage. So if you're yet to subscribe, if you're seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button already. Turn on your bell notifications. Be on a standby. Give this video a big thumbs up and drop all your comments on all that we have discussed so far. Stay glued because there is so much more coming your way. So thank you so much guys for watching. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye.